Hello, and welcome to this overview of dressmakers and historical romance books. I'm Olivia, your favorite resource for book recommendations you can easily screenshot, and you're watching Random Olive Reads. When She Was Wicked by Anne Barton is book one of the Honeycoats series. Annabelle Honeycoat is an impoverished seamstress with a deathly ill mother and a younger sister to support. While she's working at a dress shop, she overhears various gossip and uses the information to extort money. One of her victims, Owen, is a handsome duke who catches her at the drop point and threatens to expose her. But then he feels bad for her and then brings her home as an indentured servant to make dresses for his sisters. There's a bunch of miscommunication and secrecy between this couple, mixed with a healthy dose of social class difference. Silk is for Seduction by Loretta Chase is book one of the Dressmakers series. Marceline is the oldest sister and ambitious dress designer who wants to catch a future duchess as a client. In order to do this, she kind of almost maybe seduces the Duke of Clevedon, who will eventually be footing the bills. But he's more intrigued by Marceline and not interested in rushing to the altar with a woman that he's had this understanding with since childhood. As much as Marceline tries to resist Clevedon's advances and prioritize her business interests, she keeps slipping up and end up in his arms. It's rough going when she realizes she's in love with this guy while also becoming friendly with his almost fiance. I enjoyed seeing both of their struggles between propriety, duty, and their actual feelings for each other. The Duchess Deal by Tessa Dare is book one of the Girl Meets Duke series. We start with our seamstress barging into a duke's home wearing his ex fiance's very ugly wedding dress and demanding payment for it because his ex fiance did not. And then the Duke decides to propose to the woman. He needs a wife and heir, and since his last fiance left him after he came back all scarred from the war, and it seems like this new girl needs the money, it's win win. She accepts with several conditions, including saying she'll bring her cat. As an aside, she doesn't actually have a cat, she just finds one on the street that day. And of course, they'll need to stay together in London till she gets pregnant, and then they're planning to ship her off to the country. Both of our main characters have a lot of hurts in their lives, but they work through them and finally open up to each other. The Duke and the Dressmaker by Eva Devon is book two of the Once Upon a Wallflower series. Newly inherited Duke James attempts to rescue a young woman at a tavern and then finds out she's the sister of his missing ward. Lily and Violet are granddaughters of the old Duke, but not part of society due to their mother's scandalous marriage to a French painter. Now orphaned and impoverished, Lily works as a dressmaker seamstress while caring for her young sister. James insists that they both move into the ducal townhouse, and after a bit of disagreement, they do. Except James and Lily are starting to stir up a scandal with all the time they spend together unchaperoned, as much as they try to keep things proper. They ultimately get married since Lily is so good at managing James's household, but there's conflict ahead because James hasn't told Lily that he's planning to move back to America. The Summer Bride by Anne Gracie is book four of the Chance Sisters series. Daisy is the last sister with no plans to marry at all. She is aiming to open a dress shop with all of her unique designs. Family friend Flynn has been quite vocal in his goal to find a wife, and he's been pretty active on the marriage mart. Somehow, these two end up spending more and more time together and finally act on their attraction to each other. Daisy is adamant that it's just an affair and will not lead to marriage, while Flynn is trying to honor her wishes and be supportive. Duchess by Design by Maya Rodell is book one of the Gilded Age Girls Club series. Adeline is a seamstress with dreams of opening her own dress shop and has a meet cute with an impoverished duke in a hotel lobby. Brandon is in New York to look for a wealthy heiress to marry and is instantly smitten by Adeline and thinks that he is really fortunate to find an heiress he likes right in his hotel. Unfortunately, he realizes that she's not wealthy and can't really help him, so he's got to begrudgingly meet and court other women. Meanwhile, Adeline is still working on her unique dress designs and finding ways to show them off. When Brandon suggests that Adeline help him with the inside scoop on heiresses, she decides that she will escort him to places showing off her dress designs. It's painful pining for everyone involved. Brandon will have to work out how to deal with his money problem if he wants to end up with Adeline. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you found a book or two to add to your TBR. Links to all of these books are in the description box. Like and subscribe to get updates, and you can follow me on Instagram at randomolive.